In this video, I want to go over just the basics of Tradingview, how I set up my Tradingview, how I edit, the scenery and all of those good things, some of the tools that I use, my favorites, just to give everyone a high level of how I'm able to just quickly chart and go through things. So first things first, once you sign up for Tradingview, there are multiple different versions. I have the Pro version, and I just paid for it for a full year, so I don't pay monthly for it. And then when you have the Pro version, I think you can have up to 2 charts in one setting. So you can go here, and I think I can have 2. Yeah. Any more would be like, you need Pro, see, upgrade. But I usually only use 1 at a time. Anyways, and when I do need to do more than 1, I will use the compare feature and compare them. When you first start on your chart, it will look something like this, and you'll notice that in the top left corner, this is where you can search for whatever you want to chart. So if you wanted to type in SPY, you can type in SPY. If you wanted to type in, Tesla, you can type in Tesla. Whatever you want to chart, whatever you have the data for, you can type that in. I mainly only trade the ES, and I really only chart the ES, so that's what we're looking at. Then you'll see a plus sign, which is the compare or add symbol. So you can click compare and you can compare a different symbol. And if you choose new pane, it'll pop up in a separate pane, which is kind of how you can get around the only being able to look at 2 charts at one time. So let's, for example, if I click YM new pane, and then let's say I click on Apple new pane, now I can see all 3 of these in one chart without having to pay for Pro Plus or Premium. So that's kind of how you can get around only being able to see 2 charts with Pro. And let's just get rid of these. So to get rid of them, you would hit this X, which is remove, and then you're back to only your ES chart or whatever chart you're looking at. Then you'll see a W or a 1 minute or whatever. This is where your time frame is. So whatever you click here, that's the time frame that you're looking at on the chart. So each candle represents that time frame. For example, a 5-minute chart, you can see 5-minute candles. A 1-hour chart, you can see 1-hour candles. So this is how you change your time frame. Very simple, very straightforward. You can set favorites if you want to, depending on how many time frames you look at. And then you have this, which is candles. You can change the way that your candles look. So this is a bar chart, is what they call it. And you have your high, your open, your close, and then your low. These look differently. Some people trade like this. I don't. I just keep it on candles. But there are a lot of different options. Hollow candles, line charts. This is where you would change that. Heikin-Ashi, I think that's how you say it. Some people trade like this. I don't know how, but I don't trade like that. I just keep it on candles. I might look at a line chart every now and then. Depends. And then you have this fancy button here, which is called indicators. And you can search for different indicators. There's one for gaps, so FVG, Nephew Sam. Nephew Sam makes a lot of good smart money concept indicators, if that's what you want to call them, ICT indicators, whatever. And it just highlights the gaps. I don't really use these too much. I have them favorited if I want to use them, but I don't really use them. And then you can just get rid of it again by hitting the X in the top left here. Save indicator template. I've never clicked this button, so I don't know really what it does. You have alerts, so you can click this and you can create alerts on the chart. You can also click this plus sign over here. So you see if you scroll up and down, you can click the plus sign and create an alert as well from this screen, and then it'll create an alert for you. If you double click on the alerts, you can set up different things. So you can say, hey, sell when this alert goes off. Or you can do a webhook URL, you can make it text you. There's all types of different things you can do with alerts. I pretty much just let the app tell me when one of my alerts goes off. So I'm gonna delete that. And then you have replay. So this bar replay mode is essentially allows you to go back to the previous candles and play them out as if you didn't see them happen. So if you click here, this blue line, if I click on Friday, November 22nd Friday, November 4th at 10 p.m. or a.m. I think it's 10 a.m. This will allow me to go forward, and then you can click these buttons at the bottom to go and play each candle out as if, you know, you hadn't seen them happen already. So this is a pretty cool feature. And to get out of replay mode, you just click it again, and then confirmation will pop up and you click yes, and now you're back out of it. And then you have your undo button and your redo button. So if you click undo, it'll just undo whatever the last thing you did is. And if you click redo, it'll just redo whatever the last thing you undid. So that's pretty much it for the top portion up here. Then you have your window pane. So this allows you to select more than one chart at one time. And here you have where you can save your template. So if you like the way that you set your chart up, you can click this arrow, manage layouts, and you can save them based on however you see fit. So my intraday setup is going to look different, or my intraday chart saved is going to look different from my daily chart saved. It'll save drawings and things like that. And I also have this on autosave. So if I ever forget, at least my drawings won't disappear. That's really why I hated NinjaTrader, because my drawings always disappeared. And I didn't want to rechart them all the time. Then you have a quick search. I actually don't know what this is for. Search for a tool or function. I've never used this. And then obviously, so you have I have a color theme, which I call cool candles. And it'll change the theme. But we'll go through that manually. And then settings, which is just your chart settings. You can also get to settings by right clicking and clicking on settings. And the same thing will pop up. Full screen mode, it'll just put your chart in full screen. And then take a snapshot, we'll take a picture of your chart, and you can either save the image or you can copy the chart image, you can copy a link, open in a new tab, tweet it, whatever you want to do. And then publish is where you would want to publish your ideas, kind of like I have in previous videos. But yeah, so this is the top portion. And then if you can see, if you open new charts, they'll pop up in tabs, kind of like Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge, whatever you use at home. And you can go back and forth between tabs. This is kind of how I trade my funded account and my personal account at the same time. I'll have one tab logged into my funded account and one tab logged into my personal live account. And I just flip back and forth based on what trade I want to take where. And yeah. Then if you come over here to the left, all of these are going to be your drawing tools. I don't use many drawing tools. I have them all saved as favorites. So you can go through these individually. So this is basically shows how your crosshair looks. So you can either have the cross, you can have a dot, you can have an arrow, an eraser, whatever, I don't know. I always just keep it on cross. And then here are your trend line tools. So I have the trend line favorited, the arrow favorited, the ray, the info line, the horizontal line, the horizontal ray, and the vertical line. The rest of these I really don't use at all. Coming down, I have the fib retracement favorited, and that's it. And the next one, I have the brush and the rectangle favorited. Brush, I don't really use a whole lot, but sometimes if I want to just draw on the screen, like without using real lines, I'll use the brush. And I obviously use rectangle all the time. Text, I have text favorited, arrow up and arrow down. Nothing from all these patterns. I don't believe that Elliott waves work, so that's none of my business. If you use Elliott waves and they work for you, great. They don't work for me, so I don't use them. Prediction and measurement tools, long position, short position. These are essentially how I can find the risk to reward on a trade. That's what these are. They look kind of like Fibonacci tools, but they're long position and short position. So I have those favorited. And then I don't think I have any symbols over here favorited, but you can use these symbols like, hey, I think price is coming down here. I'm going to put a money sign in. And then if you click on any drawing, you can edit that drawing with the pop-up that comes up. You can change the color. You can change different settings, the visibility. So you can change the time frames that it shows up on, different things like that. And that goes for all drawings, not just these little emojis. If you draw a horizontal ray, you can double click on it and you can change the line color. You can change the method in the line. So the dash line, the dotted line, you can change the text. You can say, hey, sell side liquidity. You can change the color of the text. So many cool things you can do. You can really become a full-on chartist or a chart artist, which I really found this was fun. I like doing this personally. You can bold it, you can italicize it, whatever you need to do. You can have the coordinates. So let's say that this line was supposed to be at 37.74, you can just come in and type that instead of trying to move it, and it'll adjust itself up. Now you see 37.74. You can set an alert on the drawing. There's all types of things. You can change the width. There's a lot you can do, and you'll get used to it as you play with it more. And then you have this measure tool. This is a cool tool because you can basically measure how big a move is or how long it took. So from this low here up to this high, it was a 2% move, and it was 39 bars, 3 days and 17 hours. And there was 2 million volume. I'm not quite sure what that volume means, but yeah, that's a measurement tool. Then you have this zoom in tool, so you can just click and zoom in as close as you want to an area. I don't really use this too much. Yeah. And you also have your magnet. So this magnet, I use this all the time. It allows you to lock on to the actual wick or the body. So when I'm drawing, it's not like, oh, I'm just guesstimating where the top is. No, the magnet locks onto it, and then I can draw my drawing. And it's accurate based on the actual price, not based on if I turn it off. You'll see I have to kind of guess where this top is, which might be a little off. So the magnet is a cool feature. Sometimes it gets on my nerves. I turn it on and off all the time. And then stay in drawing mode. I always have this checked, so that way if you uncheck it and you draw something and you come out, you're no longer in drawing mode. I want to stay in drawing mode when I'm drawing. So if I turn it back on and I draw here, I can draw here, I can keep drawing without having to come back and click on this, whatever it is that I'm drawing. And let's get rid of these. And you can also right click and click remove drawings. I do this all the time. There is a lock all drawing tool. So let's say I draw a box here and I'm playing around in here, but I don't want to like accidentally drag it around. I can click lock all drawings, and now I can't drag it around. It won't let me. It's locked. So you can do that. You can also individually lock the drawing itself. So you can right click and click lock. So now only it is locked, but everything isn't locked. So if I draw a line here, I can move this line, but I can't move this box. So a lot of cool things you can do there. And then you can also hide all your drawings. So you can click hide drawings and it'll hide them all, but it doesn't get rid of them. So let's say you just want a clean chart for a second, and then you're like, okay, I'm done. You can uncheck it, and then it will bring everything back that you hid. You could also hide indicators. So if you had indicators on, you can hide those. You can hide your position. So if you're in a paper trade or if you're in a real trade, you can click hide positions and orders, and you want to take a screenshot, you can do that. Hide everything. So it's a pretty cool feature. Hide is very nice. And let's go ahead and unlock this and delete it. Cool. So that's this left-hand column over here. And then down here at the bottom, this is your favorite drawings toolbar. So you can see everything that I told you guys that I favorited is down here on this toolbar. So instead of going through and clicking here, I always just come down here and click on whatever I need to use and I draw it. It makes it a lot quicker. Then you have your stock screener. I have no idea what this does. I don't use it. Pine Editor. This is where you can go in and make your own custom indicators in Tradingview's coding language if you're that advanced. Strategy Tester. It is what it says it is. And I don't use this either. And then Trading Panel, which Trading Panel will actually allow you to go in and log into your broker. So as you guys know, I use Tradivate, and my funded account also uses Tradivate. So this is where I go to log in. Or if I'm paper trading, I will log in and connect to paper trading. If you use any of these other brokers, you can log into them as well and trade directly from this chart. So it's pretty cool feature. Yeah. And then this right side over here, here's your watch list. You can have it up if you want to. You don't have to have it up, whatever you want to do. News. I don't really use these too much. Like I literally might look at my watch list, or I might look at alerts. But other than that, the rest of this I don't really use. Hot lists, calendar, your Tradingview ideas. So I do use my ideas, and those will post, and that's where they will be. I don't use these chat features at all. Idea stream. So anybody that you follow on Tradingview, you can see their ideas here. Streams. I guess people stream their trading. You can do that. Notifications. Essentially, if I follow PDub and PDub posts an idea, it'll give me a little notification and say, hey, PDub posted an idea. Order panel, I don't use this. Some people use this to enter and exit. I don't know how to use it, so I'm not even gonna open it up. And then the DOM, which is another way you can enter and exit. I don't use that either. And then you have your object tree, which is pretty cool. So let's say I draw a rectangle here, and I draw some liquidity and some more liquidity and whatever, some lines. Let's say that I want these lines to show up all together. I can come in here and I can create a folder. I can right click, create a group of drawings, and then I can put all the lines in this group, and let's rename it lines. And then let's say I want all these lines to disappear, but I want my rectangle to stay. I can hide the group. So you can hide those lines and they're gone, and I can lock them. So I can't move them, but they're gone, but I can't see them, or I can make them come back. So this is a really cool feature, especially if you're charting on multiple time frames. You could chart on the hourly, and then you could have a group of drawings called hourly drawings, and you could hide them and only look at them when you're on the hourly. Or you can also do invisibility that we talked about earlier. But this is a really cool feature that I really like about Tradingview. Other platforms don't seem to have this, not that I've come across anyways. So yeah, object tree is really helpful, especially when you're tired. You don't like a dirty chart. I hate a dirty chart. Nobody wants a low vibrational chart. And then let's go to the settings. So if we click on settings, you can see here that the first tab is symbol. This is how you change your candle colors. So I do not use the standard traditional red and green candles. I use whatever my vibe is at the time, really, but you can change it to whatever. So let's say you wanted to have purple body candles, and let's go with black, purple and black. You can change the colors like so. So now you have purple and black candles. I don't even have this on. I don't use this at all. Because I know where price is, right? You can turn on previous day close, high and low, bid and ask. You can turn all these things on or off. I don't use them. And then you can change your time zone here. So New York, not Toronto, sorry. New York is the time zone that I trade in, that majority of folks trade in. Status line, you can go in and edit these. So the title, you can have the description of whatever the status of whatever your trading is. Open market status, open, high, low, and close values. So these values up here, your open, high, your low, close, you can uncheck those so you can't see them, or you can see them, whatever works for you. Scales, so you can have the symbol last price, which is this over here to the right, and value according to scale. You can make it show the symbol name, so ESZ 2022. If you want to get rid of that, you can. It's literally all of this is up to you. Countdown bar to close. I really like this feature. I always have it on so I can see how much time is left in the candle. So this says 57 seconds. There's 57 seconds left in this hourly candle because it is 6:59 p.m. and about to be 7 at 7 p.m. There will be a new hourly candle. So this just tells you how much time is left. It's really helpful when you're reading candles on a smaller, lower time frame, seeing how they close, how they're moving, to help, in your trades. Your date format, you can edit this, whatever floats your boat. Monday, September 29th. And your time hours format, I have mine on 12 hours because I don't have time to be thinking about military time. So I want to know if it's 3 p.m. or if it's 3 a.m. I don't care for military time. And then your appearance, this is where you can change your background. So let's say that you want a white background since we have black and purple candles. You can come here and make these the same color, or you can have a sort of gradient by using a different color. And now you see there's a little bit of a hue. I personally use the same color. I don't really care. I don't like the grid lines, so I do come in and I put the opacity all the way down to 0. If you like the grid lines, keep your grid lines on, whatever floats your boat. You can have session breaks. And then obviously you can edit your crosshair. So you don't want your crosshair to be the same color as your background because you won't be able to see it. So let's make our crosshair red. That just pops out. So now we have a red crosshair, purple and black candles, white background, and I'm able to see everything. Text, we want to change that because our time is a little low down here. Let's make it red too. So now we have red on our side so we can see the price. We can see red at the bottom, which is the time. Navigation visible on mouse over. I keep these the same. And I don't think I've ever changed the margins personally. Trading, buy and sell buttons, which are up here on the left. You can keep those on if you'd like. Sound notifications for executions. It's like a little ching ching sound when your trade gets picked up or taken off. Positions, profit loss, and money or ticks, or percent. I prefer mine in ticks so I don't look at the money and don't get psychologically forced out of my trade. I don't, psych myself out. The reverse button will allow you to reverse whatever trade you're in. Orders, brackets, profit and loss in ticks or money, whatever floats your boat. And then executions, this will show where you entered and exit the trade. Labels will show the exact number. So if you got in a trade at 38.16, execution labels will show that you bought 3 at 36.18 or 38.16, and that you sold 3 at 38.38 or whatever it is that your trade you're in. Executions by itself will only show the little red and blue arrows. Extended price line for positions and orders. I actually have this off because it clouds my chart. Can't really see good. But basically what it is it's a line of wherever you entered and exit that goes across the entire screen. I really don't care. I know where I entered and exited, so I don't have this on. Orders and position alignment, I also have that to the right. I don't think I've ever tried it to the left or to the center, so can't really tell you what to do there. But as far as this goes, you can save this as a template. So you can click save as, and then you can literally make it a template. So that way you don't have to create this every time, or if your layout doesn't save, you can literally just come in and open up cool candles. And now you guys can see this is how I trade. This is my color style. Please don't steal my color style. Personally, this is my vibe. Find your vibe. It's going to help you trade the best. And one more quick thing I did want to show when it comes to drawings, you can also save your drawings as templates. So let's say I want to draw this fair value gap here. I can draw the rectangle, right click on it and go to template. And let's say it's a bearish fair value gap. I have a template saved and it'll go ahead and highlight that and change it to what it is. Let's say we wanted to make this a different color though. So let's say, I want my bearish fair value gaps to be red. I can change it to red, and then I would go here, I would go to template, save as, and then I would just name it whatever I want. I clearly already have one named minus fair value gap, so I'm not going to save it. But this way it allows you to draw your drawings easily and to edit them quicker than editing each individual one every single time you draw it. So for example, let's draw liquidity up here. I'm going to right click template, and this is buy side liquidity. And then I'm going to come down here and draw another one and right click template, sell side liquidity, and I have a whole bunch of them, as you guys can see, just with my own little abbreviations. You might recognize some of them, you might not. It's just what works for me and how quickly I can go. But yeah, you can do this for any drawing. You could even, draw just anything and label it and create a template and make it whatever you want it to be. You can do it for your arrows. So if you have a down arrow and you right click on it, you can set a template. I have it set as a high, and then text will come up. So you can do this for any of your drawings, and I recommend doing it, especially if you're drawing a lot of the same things over and over. If you're trading the same setups, it'll save you a lot of time. But yeah, this is Tradingview in a nutshell. This is basically how I chart and do everything that I do on this application. I love it so much. I've used Thinkorswim. I tried to go back to Thinkorswim the other day and it felt so clunky. I just couldn't do it. So when I trade options, I do it completely off my phone and watching my Tradingview chart. And then NinjaTrader just sucks. So I'm not even going to go into that. But hopefully this was helpful. If you are new to Tradingview, hopefully this will help you get your bearings a little bit and figure out what you want to design, how you want to design your charts, because ultimately this should be your safe space. This should be a place you can come and just really see what price is doing, not trying to guess, not trying to do too much. Don't cloud your charts up. Don't put on 70,000 indicators. Hopefully this helps you. If so, like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.